Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Put.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poe. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Well, we've made it to the end of a year. I wanted to make sure I was here today to do this show, wrap up of what happened over the course of the year, not just here, but in the world. So we're going to do that. For today's show, let's look at what we're dealing with. 31st of December 2015. Our sun sign, as we know, is in Capricorn, and our moon sign is currently in Virgo. So if we look at the aspects for today, we could see that the only aspects that we're really dealing with here, we have a conjunction 10:50 a.m. That's with Jupiter and with Virgo. This is where they're right next to each other in the same house. So if we look at the wheel, we have there's Jupiter and there's a moon right here. So there's the conjunction, both of them together in Virgo. So it's like being at a party, two folks together here at a party having a conversation. The moon in Virgo is telling about all the service and the sacrifice that one makes and all the goodwill one puts out. And Jupiter wants to say, well, let's do more, let's do more. Jupiter wants to expand things outward, okay? So we want to find ways that we're looking to expand what we're about, especially in terms of this Virgo ideal here. Okay, and then of course tonight at 11:33 p.m., the last aspect of Virgo, we will have Virgo will be in a trine with Mercury, communication, and then we go into the void of course period until shortly after midnight at 12:41 a.m. when we go into the next moon sign, which will be Libra. Okay, so let's just have a little refresher, a little reminder here. This is our sun sign at the moment, Capricorn. Capricorn, tarot card of the devil. It's teaching us about two things. One, the earth, the physical world, the reality that we're in. It's a physical reality. But we also live in a reality that is more than just physical. Fire, water, air. Ideas, emotions, actions. All of these things supersede the physical. If we want to change the physical, we have to go to the fire, the water, the air to make those adjustments. This reminds us, the Hebrew letter on this card, ayin, is I. It reminds us that we have to look past illusion, because if we don't, we just see this. This is the illusion. This is the illusion that this is real, that we're chained to a block of ignorance, which is what this represents, that we're chained because of our own ignorance of understanding that there's more than just this reality. And so we think that this is it. We buy into this. The star up here, upside down, shows us a misuse of the energy. Instead of the star being the right way, where the energy comes in through the crown chakra, the star here upside down is coming in through the lower chakra first. Therefore, the energies being affected the first are the ones that are the lower chakra vibrations, the lower chakra energies, the ones that are just about the physical world. Okay, so if that's all that is, if we're getting hit only by the physical world's energies first, and we think that's all there is, there's the confusion. So we have to get out of the state of ignorance. The moon sign, currently, our unconscious, is in Virgo. Virgo is the hermit. In Tarot, it's the last of the single numbers. It is the one that shines the lantern and the light for others to see, because the Virgo, the hermit, went into solitude, learned the lessons, got illuminated, brought the light forward for others to see, and that's what our objective is. So implied with this is the idea of service, because by holding the light for others to see, the hermit is providing service to others. So this is where we're at. Our unconscious mind wants to find out, how do we serve each other? How do we help each other? How do we shine light into the darkness? Right here, we got the darkness. How do we shine the light into the darkness? Okay, that's the objective. That's what we're looking for. And we're getting ready to move to an unconscious mind here of Libra, which will be tomorrow, just after midnight, or today, tomorrow. You know what I mean. Right after we begin the new year, 53 minutes afterwards, we go into Libra, which is about balance. So we enter the year, and the first aspect we're coming to, or the first moon sign, is wanting to find out, how do we balance things out. So that's our objective. How do we find balance in this world of illusion? Okay? How do we find the balance in the world of illusion? And that's what our objective is. It's real simple. When we boil it down to really what is the essence of all that we're going through here, it's not real complicated. We're beings that deal with energy. We're beings that absorb and feel and reflect and process energy all the time. The better we can do that, the better off we are. The more that we are not aware of this energy, the more that things just seem to happen to us rather than us being involved in the process that is taking place. Okay, so we see what's coming up for tomorrow, but we'll deal with that tomorrow because I will be here. Again, the wheel, so you can see how things are wrapping up at the end of this year from an astrological perspective. Okay. Current moon phase, 64.9% of the way full. It will be, or to a new moon. We'll be at the new moon completely on the 9th of January. We're just getting ready to hit that third quarter phase coming up tomorrow. Jewish calendar, today is 19 Tevet. 19 Tevet. Daily thought for today is the convenient mind. The mind will always find the answer most convenient for the mind. A philosopher will find an answer that favors philosophers. A scientist will find an answer that favors science. A spiritual seeker will find an answer that satisfies his need to seek spirituality. Even the greatest mind will rest only where there remains room to be a mind. That is why a simple good deed can only carry the mind to a place that it could never reach on its own, beyond its very need to exist. Do truth, and you will find truth. Dreamspell Oracle, today is a 12-tone day. 12-tone day in the wave spell of the dragon. So about birth. So we've given birth to who and what we're about. Our energy has been rebirthed, and now we've gone through this process where we're getting ready to make the jump off, explore. Now that we've grown a bit, we're ready to jump off and explore, which is coming up tomorrow. So today's our free will opportunity. Choose which way we're going to go, how we're going to go, what we are going to do. So we have the kin for today is the human, which is about free will. The guide is the seed, planting seeds. What's next? What do we want to grow for this upcoming year? Our hidden power is our ability to purify our thoughts and our ideas. The challenge for today is the inspiration that exists around us, and our like-minded energy is our ability to create, to heal, to use our hands. The phrase for today is, I dedicate in order to influence universalizing wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of flowering. And tonight up in the sky, see our moon. Just up and left of the moon, we're going to see Jupiter. Above the moon, we got Denbola, Regulus far, far to the right. But we got Leo is what's above it here. Okay, that's what it's forming. It says, after noise and cheering at midnight tonight, step outside into the silent dark. The last quarter moon will be newly risen in the cold east. Or if you're near the western edge of the time zone, it may still be about to rise. Jupiter shines above it. Higher in the south, Sirius will be shining brightly. It's now the balance point at the bottom of the winter triangle. The triangle's other two stars are Betelgeuse in Orion's shoulder to its upper right, and Procyon equally far to its upper left. Before dawn in the morning of January 1st, comet Catalina passes barely 1/2 west of Arcturus. The comet is about a 6th magnitude. Arcturus is some 250 times brighter. Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. That is our cosmic weather for today to end up this year here on this cycle. And of course, years are just arbitrary things that we choose to mark the times because life continues on. Nothing ends and changes and what have you. Everything just continues to go. Everything continues to move along, and that's what we do from year after year, time after time, moment by moment, something like that. I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere. Anyway, that brings us up to UFO news, so let's check it out. Here we go.
What if our government... This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. Dirk Bradshaw, everybody. The one, the only. Maybe in 2016 we will be seeing more of Dirk around here. Anyway, today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories for you. 5 good stories. First story here. UFO formation appears over skyscraper in Chile before mysteriously disappearing. Okay, here's our object in question. This is a close-up. Okay. It says mysterious objects were captured hovering above San Diego, Chile in a fascinating 5-minute video. The video, labeled Fantastic UFO Sighting in Santiago, starts with a girl becoming startled by the sight of the glowing orbs consisting of 4 lights floating high above the skyscrapers. Okay. You can see it looks like 3 particular objects here. Actually 4. The UFOs move away from the formation before the footage cuts to 8 singular balls of light hovering in a circular motion. The video has the divided opinion on whether it's real or whether it's a hoax. One user wrote it seems like real footage, completely with atmospheric flickering and pixel density. Another writes, real UFOs, military planes, and helicopters. A believer said, those who's saying it's false need to get a life and come to reality. Okay. So check it out, see what you think. Is this real? Is this not? All right. Here we go. There may be truth about an alien star map drawn in 1961. Here we have an image. The star system discovered in the southern constellation of Reticulum known as Zeta Reticuli allegedly resembles Betty Hill's drawing. Betty and Barney Hill first claimed in 1961 that aliens abducted them. The New Hampshire couple even tried to support their claim with Betty drawing a map of where they thought the aliens originated. But many experts threw out their claims, saying that no constellation resembled the drawing. However, an expert is now saying that there might be veracity to their claims. Statistician David Saunders says that Betty's drawing resembles Zeta Reticuli. He explains that there's no way Betty could have drawn the star map in random. Betty said that she and Barney were taken into a separate room on board. The couple said the examiner did some tests to them. According to Betty, who died in 2004, the examiner put her on a stool and checked her throat, nose, ears, and eyes, and then put her on the table for the examination. Examiner to check her nervous system based on what she heard from the aliens. The aliens allegedly tried to insert a needle-like instrument into her navel, which resulted in too much pain, prompting the aliens to stop doing it. Betty said that Barney's exam was very much the same, but the ETs were more interested in his bone structure. Betty also claimed that she had an encounter with the alien leader. She asked the leader of their origin, and he showed her a star map showing where they came from. Betty allegedly made the sketch under hypnosis. Okay. So there's the 2 maps there. One that she drew and the system itself, so you could see if there's a similarity. Alright, this was footage of a UFO between the Earth and the Sun. This was on the 28th of December, so just the other day. Again, we've had lots of sun. Here it is right there. It's a bigger object than these other little ones, definitely. So what is this gathering? Is this just a gathering of some sort of random elements that are right here, or is this an actual object? Or is this a glitch on the screen? Could be any or all of the above. It could be the real deal, it could be a glitch on the screen, or it could just be a gathering of particles that are out there that takes on this shape here that is just random. I don't have the answer. I'm just pointing out different possibilities. Look at it, see what you think. I am moving on. All right, here we have an ancient cell phone discovered in Austria. This one I found to be a very interesting article. It's evident this cell phone-like device is someone with an advanced knowledge of the drawing that looks similar to the future created. The language is said to go back tens of thousands of years, but I remember a drawing of it that looks similar to the writing here. I can no longer find the drawings, but they said it was millions of years ago and found in a coal mine, but destroyed by the tunneling later. You can see here on these little buttons here, they're not numbers, and they're different little symbols. Very interesting. Of course, we have a little graph here if you want to relate what the symbols would be. Archaeologists digging in Austria found an ancient clay tablet that looks like a cell or cordless phone with keys etched with cuneiform characters that could imply it originally came from Mesopotamia. What is it? Is it evidence of an advanced civilization or time travel? The tablet was reportedly found earlier this year by archaeologists digging in Fushi am See, a city in the Austrian state of Salzburg. There's not much information on what the researchers were digging for in the region, but it wasn't cuneiform tablets. Yet that's what they found. Even more shocking, the tablet strongly resembles the cell phones that were most likely being used to take pictures of it. The tablet was dated around the 13th century BCE. By that time, the Sumerian writing style known as cuneiform had already been around a few thousand years. Cuneiform tablets aren't unusual. An estimated 2 million have been excavated. The language was a mystery until the 19th century when its code was deciphered. Okay, so very interesting. Very interesting find indeed. What do you think about that one, huh? And one last piece here. Giants roamed the earth millions of years ago. From message-to-eagle.com. On the earth there were once giants, Greek poet Homer wrote in 400 BC. People of Africa have memories of giants that once lived on the earth. African legends describe these powerful beings as brave men who had shining eyes. They were very strong, and their voices could be heard from one town to another. A legend tells that they wandered without let or hindrance to places where no man had ever been before. One could not look them in the face because their eyes were so bright that it hurt one's own eyes to look at them. It was like looking at the sun. We also know that myths and legends of every culture contain important elements of truth. Legendary giants are also an important part of the mythology, but they are definitely not a myth. One of the most puzzling archaeological mysteries has been discoveries of giant prehistoric human skeletons. A perfectly formed giant footprint imprinted in granite was discovered in 1912 by a farmer called Stoffel Coetzee while hunting in what is called the Eastern Traversal, South Africa. There's the footprint right there. The remains scattered worldwide have been unearthed, but the evidence of them has been hidden and neglected for years. Otherwise, they would have remained. Why have remains of humans who unmistakably were gigantic in size been found if a person never existed? The footprint over the years has also been called by other names like Bigfoot to Goliath's footprint, and sometimes even referred to Adam or footprint of God, can be found in an outcrop of the Bethloth, dated around 1.3 million years ago. Okay, so very interesting. A lot more to the article. Here's some examples of some skeletons and skulls and bones. Okay, so nice, good article for you to check out. See what you think, but lots of good UFO sightings. Lots of stories over the year, huh? A lot of really good stories, so Be interesting to see what kind of stories and UFO sightings we have for this upcoming year, and we'll start that tomorrow with the new sightings that come about. Be ready for this looking at the sky tonight, my friends. You never know what you might capture. If you have a camera ready, take some pictures. Even if you don't think there's anything there, check it out, see what you find. All right, that's our UFO news for today. I'll be back momentarily. So let's listen to this. Great Spirit. There we go.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Great Spirit. Thank you very much. All right, so we've made it through another year. Almost. Almost. We have this day to go, and onward we move from 2015 to 2016. It has been quite a year. There's been a lot of changes that have taken place in America, a lot of changes that have taken place in the world. The question is, where are we going from here? Well, sometimes in order to look at where we're going and understand where we're going, sometimes we have to take a pause for the cause, so to speak, and see where we've been, evaluate where we've been, so we can determine whether or not the places we've been have been and are instrumental to where we're going to be going. Sometimes the places we've been have simply been places that have shown us directions we need to not go, things we need to change and do differently. So, what I brought up here was a list. This is over at Facebook. It's a nice little list of variety of things that occurred over the course of this year. So you can go through and check them out. Um, Presidential election, we certainly see the battle that's going on with all of this right now. That's certainly the big news. Donald Trump's rising in the polls and the battles that are taking place between the various Republican candidates, and then you've got the upcoming battles with the Democrats. So this certainly has taken our attention this year. We know about the attacks in Paris. This was listed number 2 in their list. Another unfortunate event that occurred. Again, with all of these events, it's very important that we learn to understand and decipher what's real and what isn't. What is a false flag that's trying to pull us into some sort of engagement, some sort of war, battle. You know, a false flag is simply when one side or somebody does something and blames another. That's what a false flag is. A false flag does not mean that people are not injured. To the contrary, people could be injured, but the ones who did it aren't necessarily the ones who you thought did it, because it was a carefully orchestrated plan in order to deceive. That's what a false flag is. So I know there's a lot of people talking about false flags, and they think it means, when you hear the term, that nothing happened. And that's not the case. A hoax is another situation. A hoax is where something was completely fabricated and everything about the event is fake, and intended to fake you out. Sometimes a hoax might be something as innocent as somebody doing a drill, and then that drill being filmed by a news agency who then shows you that as being real. Maybe those who were involved with the drill weren't doing it as a hoax. They were just doing a drill to practice being better at what they do, like firemen or policemen or military personnel, whoever the group might be. But it's filmed for nefarious reasons in order to trick people. So we have to look carefully at what's going on, because the events that take place usually are guiding us someplace. And when we look and see what the result is afterwards, it kind of gives us a clue whether it's a false flag or not. When an event happens and someone is shot or killed, and instantly the politicians come out and start talking about gun control, you can bet that there's something more going on than the American people are being told, or the people of the world are being told, because there's an agenda in place, and that agenda precedes or supersedes anything that may come from it other than that agenda. And everything is focused on getting people moving in one direction. And you do it through emotions. Because remember, we had the fire, the water, and the air. Fire is ideas, water is emotions, air is actions. These 3 things move and affect the earth. So if somebody pushes your emotional buttons, that is enough for you to go and change what's going on in your world, because that button has been pushed. So we need just to be aware of these things so we don't allow our buttons to be pushed. Okay. We have a big problem right here: Syrian civil war and the refugee crisis. We certainly are hearing plenty of this, and what's the big deal? Some say we should let everybody into this country. We hear the story over and over about how Islam is a peaceful religion. Well, that may be. It may be a peaceful religion. However, there are members of Islam, which is a religion. There are members of Islam that aren't so peaceful. So it's not the peaceful ones that we are worried about, because the peaceful ones are going to be peaceful, as they say. It's the ones that want to cause problems. And being that you have a religion that is 1.2 billion in number, a percentage of that, a small percentage, is a great deal. So 10% of 1.2 billion, well, you could tell there's a lot right there. There's what, 100 million? 100 million. So if you have 1.2 billion Muslims and 100 million of them are potential terrorists, you can see that there's a problem, right? So it's not about whether we look at a group and we try to lump them in. We have to look at what's taking place. Over the course of the years, Trojan horses have been used. If you read the story of Muhammad, you read that he moved into Medina, and it talks about him moving in there as a refugee, and that this strategy was used in the past. So there seems to be some concern that we are in that same time period. Our memories aren't serving us properly because we're not remembering these type of events, and therefore we're allowing this to happen. Here in America, we have a president that is a Muslim terrorist, and unfortunately, many have been fooled in this country into thinking otherwise. But there's been many like myself who for the last 7 years have been pointing out all of the differences in what he says versus the values of Americans to see that he is not who he says, and yet Americans are still being fooled. So we need to look really diligently at the issue at hand, because on one hand we do want to be compassionate to others. We do want to help others. But we do not want to be helping others if those we are helping are simply coming in to destroy us. That does not serve anything. If we look at the values of what another culture has to offer, and we compare them to the values that we have, that helps us decide whether or not mixing them together is a good idea. In America, the culture that we have is different than the culture in some of these Muslim countries. Almost 180-degree difference, opposite. So we can't expect somebody from a culture that's 180-degree different than ours to come into our culture and be able to adapt so easily. It'd be the same as if we went into another culture. We would want to do things the way we do them, and yet we would be ostracized for not adapting to their culture if we went to their country. So it's all about the willingness to adapt and how different one is. And one of the problems we seem to have with this refugee crisis that's taking place, the Syrians, those who are coming across, is they don't believe the same things. They don't have the same values. And so Americans are being convinced that we need to take them in. There was a story the other day of a couple, a liberal couple in South Africa, and how they took in 100 of these refugees. All was fine and dandy until the refugees started demanding they wanted more from the couple, and then chased them out of their home and threatened to kill them, and didn't go so well after that. But this is what's becoming the norm, that people are finding out that we have been deceived and are in the middle of some sort of Trojan horse invasion. Americans need to wake up. I see what's going on. There's a number of others that see what's going on, but there's still a lot of people that have their eyes closed. They're seeing the illusion instead of seeing past it, and that's the problem we're having. Earthquakes, not only in Nepal, but weather changes taking place, earth changes. We have the debt crisis in Greece, and a debt crisis going on here in America. The marriage equality. This has been a big issue over the course of this year. The fight against ISIS. This fight against ISIS is a big one. Remember, I showed you the website. You can go look it up yourself. Look up ISIS Public HQ. You find out that ISIS is an intelligence organization program here in the United States. Has a headquarters in Washington, D.C., inside the Ronald Reagan building. They have another headquarters right outside Army Intelligence in Fort Huachuca in Arizona, Sierra Vista, Arizona. These are intelligence programs. So when you hear the stories now that are coming to light about how we are behind what's going on, duh. Those who have been paying attention know that we're behind it. It's all one big charade. But once you start involving others Once the organizers push the button and start getting people who are just extremists running wild, they just go wild. So that's the objective. You get 4, 5, 6, a small group of individuals to push the right buttons, and you get all of the savages running wild according to the buttons that are being pushed, and now you can move your agenda forward as you want to. So we need to pay attention again, Americans. We're getting run over. We're getting lied to. It's happening right in front of our noses, and we have to stop being so arrogant, thinking that we know everything, because we don't. We don't know everything, and we're being railroaded in a big, big way. So, time to wake up. The Charlie Hebdo attack, this is just one of many that have taken place. Protests in Baltimore, Black Lives Matter, growing through the riots that took place down in St. Louis. Again, another situation where we have groups of individuals who are misunderstood or following some sort of an agenda. We understand George Soros behind the Black Lives Matter group. How ironic it is that you have these groups wanting to have equality, or saying that there's the white privilege that's taking place in the world, yet you still have these groups of blacks being pushed by an agenda by an old white dude, George Soros. So it's kind of funny and ironic in a very sad, sad way that we allow ourselves to be fooled, and in such simple ways. You would think that we'd be smarter after all these years, but we're not very smart as Americans on the whole. Kind of the opposite, it seems. We need to get smarter. We need to be smarter because we've gotten soft. We've allowed ourselves to be lied to, and we don't even know the difference anymore between the truth and the lie. That's the big problem. Big problem, not knowing the difference. And here we have Charleston shooting, the flag debate. Again, knee-jerk reaction, removing the Confederate flag. How silly that was. We have lists of here if you want to go over. We got top 10 lists if you want to see a variety of lists of what was popular over the course of the year. Okay. So when the link's available, so you can check it out. Some of the things that stand out in my mind over the course of the year that were looked at here on this show. The Kybalion. I think that is one of the most important books that we have. Not the most important, but certainly very important in understanding how things work and operate. That goes hand in hand also with the some of the Gnostic Gospels, like the Apocryphon of John, which talks about things like the archons. These are all part of the Nag Hammadi library. So I think that's very significant. The Book of Enoch is another important book that goes in sync with the Book of Revelation, talking about the plan that's unfolding before us. The important thing about this, that those who are godless are the ones that are being removed. The ones who are walking the path of righteousness will continue to walk that and will be guided into the right place at the right time, so we can move past all our worries and our fears. And of course, one of my new personal favorites is the flat earth or enclosed system theory, which has a lot of weight to it. You see more and more individuals are doing investigations upon this. There's something to it. Something to it. We unfortunately live on a planet where there's been a lot of deception from those who seem to be running things from behind the scenes. And the shape of the planet certainly seems to be one of those things that has been hidden. So we need to investigate further, understand why. Why the secrecy, why the lies, what is being hidden from us, and why. We may not get to some of those answers, but at least we can understand what is being hidden by at least using our intelligence to look at these various scenarios and see what's real and what's not. Plenty of evidence suggesting that the shape of the earth isn't what we've been told. Plenty of evidence showing that those who are supposed to be providing us with insight have been lying to us or misleading us. It's up to us to decide if we're going to move through these times with intelligence or with blinders on. So that is kind of a review of what's going on here, what has gone on here. One of the things that we're going to do tomorrow is goal setting. I believe that setting goals are very, very important. And when we set goals, we then have a destination. Like if we're looking at a map, planning a vacation, we know where we're going to go. We map out our direction. We may not get there along the way. We may have some other directions we may go, and that's all right. But we start off by we make a plan of what it is we're working towards. So for the last several years, we've been doing a goal setting workshop here. So what I'd like you to do tonight, whether you've done them here or wherever, is sit down and look over the course of your year. Look at the goals you may have set for yourself and see what kind of progress you made. Even if you wrote down your goals at the beginning of this year, and didn't do anything more than just wrote them down and put the paper away somewhere, I will guarantee that when you look at that paper, you'll find that there was some progress along the way, because just the fact that you wrote things down, it stuck into your subconscious, so you moved towards that goal over the course of the year. And then, of course, if you were following your goals on a regular basis, then you might see that there was even more progress because you are consciously making those efforts. So I'd like you to review your goals, review where you've been, and start thinking about where it is that you want to go in this upcoming year. And on tomorrow's show, we are going to do a goal setting workshop. We're going to take time out, and we're going to take about 15 minutes, and we're just going to look at our goals for the course of 2016, what we wish to accomplish individually, and then an opportunity for us to think about what we want to accomplish collectively, because we work together as a collective group, but we also work individually as individual beings that we are. And somehow within all of that, there's a beautiful dance that takes place of us evolving and working together and standing on our own, and all that good stuff. So that's what's coming up. That's where we've been. Let's move forward here and let's check out this article. 6 Ways to Open Up Life to Cosmic Energy by Anna Hunt, The Waking Times. As mainstream science starts to more openly recognize the effectiveness of practices such as yoga, meditation, acupuncture, and so forth, more of us are learning that we are energetic beings who must consider how energies affect our well-being. As believed from an early age by Taoist masters in China, but later proven by quantum physics, we are all connected, even through the outer reaches of space and time. We are all connected to the way of the cosmos, the Tao. With this knowledge, it is up to each of us to decide if we want to connect to the flow of this loving energy that surrounds us, or do we ignore it and close ourselves off from it. The cosmic energy will keep flowing without judgment either way. If you decide that yes, you want to invite this positive energy into your life and bathe it in its abundance, then here are some ideas on how to rekindle your relationship with the cosmos. 1. Assess the level of negative energy within you. Sometimes we don't realize how besieged we are with negativity. This can be self-perpetuating and attract wrong situations and wrong people into our lives. To help assess our level of negative energy, we have a quiz from Christy Shelton of loveorabove.com. Find a quiet space, look inside. It all begins with self-awareness. Okay, so some of them are, and these are good things to look over tonight. Contemplate these tonight as you're, planning on what you're going to do next year. So, do you complain? Are you often discuss what's wrong with the world more than what's right? Do you criticize? Are you attracted to drama? Okay, it takes courage to be honest with yourself and accept if you are overly negative. You create your life experiences. The cosmic energy around you will guide you through these experiences, but it's up to you to experience them in gratitude. Along the way, being grateful for what is happening, both the good and the bad, will invite more positive energy into our lives. Okay, here's a nice little quote from W. Clement Stone. There is little difference in people, but the little difference makes a big difference. The little difference is attitude. The big difference is whether it is positive or negative. Okay, another thing is limit ego, self-talk that criticizes and doubts. Most of us at some point in life struggle with negative thinking and judgment of the self-talking ego mind. Nothing good will ever happen to me. I could never do that. blah, blah, blah. So we need to work on that aspect of ourselves, silencing the critic and the doubter inside of ourselves. Using affirmations is a very good way in order to move ourselves forward. At times, we have to motivate ourselves daily to face negativity and address its sources: the ego mind, stressful lives, the crazy world, etc. Here are some ideas for daily affirmations. You can learn the ones that resonate with you and the ones that are the most relevant in your life, or think of some of your own. Keep them written, visible, and say them out loud. Okay, here's some examples. What others say about me is their problem, not mine. I am free to be me. Life isn't perfect, but it sure is great. It's okay to have down days. Even when I'm struggling, I have so much to be grateful for. Okay? Wayne Dyer has a nice quote: change the way you look at things, and things you look at change. Here's another one. Number 4, release all restrictions of the mind, body, spirit. The energies of the sun, the earth, the galaxy, and the cosmos influence us through higher dimensional subtle energies on the physical, etheric, and spiritual levels. It is easy for us to get stuck in the physical plane and believe that all matters is what we experience physically, yet our energy field and our spirit are also communicating with cosmic energy. By remembering this connection to the greater cosmos in each of the layers of the true self, encased in a human form, we help to open up a line of communication with higher energies of the universe. And in this, we experience a deeper transformation on all levels of the body, mind, spirit. Practices such as yoga, tai chi, qigong, although typically used by people for exercise and lowering stress, can help you to realize the true consciousness beyond the fear-based 3D world. Cleanse your internal space. Number 5, much of your effort to connect with the cosmic energy flows requires inner focus, some quiet time of reflection and solitude in a safe environment. Here is where cleansing our external living space of negative and stale energy becomes just as important as clearing our inner space. You often hear ideas such as declutter, let go of unneeded stuff, or rearrange your furniture to create more space. This is both practical and effective in helping you feel lighter and more positive. You could consider putting a little more effort into your cleansing process by smudging the areas where you spend most of your time, such as your home, office, car. Smudging allows you to clean out the negative of the energetic field, creating space for more balanced and healthier you. Okay, and some examples: use some sage, bologna shells, feathers, fire, using all the elements, mix them in, use bells and chimes, recite mantras, prayers, use incense. And last, practice authentic meditation. Meditation starts with a short daily practice that for some of us means just relaxing our mind and sitting still. The more meditation one does, the more cosmic energy one receives. This energy will flow through the entire mind, body, spirit of the true self. With consistency, a meditation practice blossoms into longer and longer stretches with less and less thought, where we become open to the insights of the universe and gain clarity that enriches our lives. The process of bringing more cosmic energy into our life will harmonize and balance our connection with the Tao. This is fundamental relationship and interaction in all of our lives. It is up to us to decide how deeply we want to benefit from the relationship and if we are ready to expand our awareness of it. Okay, so that's a really good article. Again, it all boils down to energy. We're in an energetic field. We live within this energetic field. It is flowing through us, around us. We're a part of it. We're little bitty drops of a great big ocean, drops of God. And we move through a daily basis as these drops that we are, experiencing, processing, living. Whatever we do, we're here. And life is continually about finding ways to be more effective, finding ways to process this energy. We're down here in the physical world, so we can't deny what this physical world is about. We need to understand the laws and the rules of this physical reality. But at the same time, we want to keep our mind on the awareness that we are more than just the physical world. We are more than just this body. And when we meditate, we remind ourselves that we are more than just a body, because the place that we go during times of meditation is outside of the body or inside. Whatever idea you have, once we take that place where we go into this aspect of ourselves, even though we're going in, it feels like we're going in someplace that is more expanded. So we expand our universe and our reality by going inside. Then we see how much things really are connected and our connection to everything. So I think we're in a good place. We need to keep processing. We need just to keep being aware because life is unfolding before us. There's books, there's prophecies, there's all kind of insight to let us know what is happening. We just need to pay attention. We don't want to go through life blind. And this next year, I think, is going to be a very significant year because so much seems to be unfolding. Just through understanding the book of Revelation, the book of Enoch, the various stories that we've gone through over the year, we could see that life is going through a great process of change. A story is unfolding before our eyes. And this year is going to be quite a interesting year. I do believe. I do believe it will be because things seem to be coming to a conclusion. We seem to understand where we are in the book of Revelation, that we're sort of at the end of the story. Things keep getting worse and worse and worse on one hand, but things are also getting better, better, better on the other. And so somewhere within all of this, we're going to find ourselves deciding which way we want to go. And that's going to be a really opportune moment for all of us here on Earth to move forward. Are we going to choose the light or are we going to choose the dark? Because we could see what's going on as the world gets darker and darker, and we could see that we don't like that. So the light seems to be the place we're all gravitating to, and I'm sure that we will continue to do that. A lot of good things up ahead. So there you have it. Message for today: the Council of Nine.
Frequencies. Also message on monoatomic technology.
December 30th, 2015, by Marina Jacobi. Subside earthquakes with Hertz frequencies.
We wish all the scientists to pay close attention to this material. 3 to 4 topography of the landmass must be layered precisely on top of each other. See and look for the different edges of the landmass. Also find the grids of the Earth with alignment of each landmass. When you put them on top of each other, see and measure the difference of all edges of the land. And this way you can pinpoint the exact location of the earthquakes. The frequency hertz of the mass can be measured depending of the difference of the mass of the land between each topography. When you find the hertz of the earthquake, stay in tune with it. If you locate with precise measurement the earthquake hertz, and stay steady to 0, point out the land, so you can stop and subside the earthquake to 0 point. This is how you can prevent earthquakes. You can also develop a machine like that to measure it, and stop it immediately. Remember, the hertz of the earthquakes must be subside to 0 point. Council of 9.
Monoatomic technology.
And this is how you can build life force of technology that is based only on energies of frequencies, and it is called monoatomic technology. Into the body of your structure is photons that are built with the crystal connected with the monoatomic technology resonating back and forth, like prisms and structures of complex reactors of different geometric structures modulating, depending on the environment and your thoughts. If you have an environment around you that is out of balance, recognizing the structure will completely recall the portal that is ready to pull you into a parallel reality that is printed into your single atom molecules. The portal is stabilized by magnetic monoatomic nanotechnology that is built with monoatomic photons of a magnetic geometric field that is structured the same as yours. Then it will recognize if there are any changes in your reality of existence, and it will activate if something doesn't resonate with the same structure, and the monoatomic nanotechnology will pull you to gravitate, moving you through the portal of reality, that is resonating accordingly to the original structure of the new prism. The portal of the nanotechnology is stabilized permanently over you, with a combination of monoatomic structures and magnetic field that is the same as your structure, molecular structure. Remember the harmonic reactor? Well, this is similar but is built only from energy field, not matter. This over you is the structure of light crystal magnetic monoatomic crystallized energy. Is practically life consciousness. Has its mind of its own. knows your existence, recognizes your thoughts and is moving you through the proper parallel realities, to maintain the integrity of your true self without outside interference. This is the help from higher order. We wish humanity and especially the scientific community to explore and learn about the expansion of the human possibilities of consciousness. We wish you luck on our exploration. The Council of Nine.
To get and learn more.
All right. All right, very good. Okay, so that was a good meditation. Again, reminding us, or a good message, reminding us about the energy around us, how we can get involved with it and interact with it. A lot of times, in the way it was describing this, in visualizing different patterns of energy, of these various structures, of these monoatomic structures, and so on. And again, all of this comes to us as we meditate, because we're connected to a great source, and this source is there for us that teaches us. And once we connect in and tie in with it, which we can't be disconnected from it, we can only think that we are, and that's the illusion. The illusion is we think that we're disconnected from the source, when in reality we're never disconnected. We always are connected. So let's close our eyes. Let's do our meditation for today. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale again. Now continue to breathe in and out, and just feel the energy moving back and forth like waves in an ocean, calmly moving back and forth through each and every one of your cells. And let's imagine all of your cells being activated and feeling energized. And just let this flow of energy move back and forth within you. And as it does, allow yourself just to contemplate this last year, the time period from New Year's Day 2015 all the way through now. And just think back to all the events that you've been involved with, all the things that you've done, all the people you've interacted with, the ideas that you've had, the challenges that you've faced and overcome. And as you think back over the year, just imagine yourself on a path, and you're walking forward along this path, and you look back and you see the long, long journey that you have traveled. And though we may not remember every single detail of the past that we've traveled by, we know that we are here now. And we've grown through all of these changes to be who we are now because of what we've experienced. So we give thanks, first and foremost, to the great Creator, Mother, Father, God, the consciousness of all life. We give thanks for all of the opportunities, the lessons, the blessings that have come our way over the course of this year. And we look forward to the opportunities that shall present themselves as we continue to move forward along the path of life. We take a moment just to rest where we are before we continue our journey forward. And in this moment we recognize all of the others who are moving through life, seeking, learning, trying to understand what this is all about. So we send out positive vibes to everybody, knowing that by sending out these vibes and helping each other to grow, we help ourselves as well. And yet again, we thank the Creator for the blessings that have been in our lives and the blessings that are to come. So let the subconscious mind continue on the journey, just contemplating where we've been, what we've done, the progress that we've made, the obstacles that we've overcome, or even the moments where we've fallen, where we've slowed down. And as we contemplate all and understand where we've been, we can begin to assess where it is we wish to go or are going. So let the subconscious mind continue on that journey of exploration of where we've been, what we've been doing. And let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3 coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2 coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1 coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes. That's it, my friends. We've made it through the year. Thank you very, very, very much for being here. I really appreciate that you've taken the time to write to me. All the emails, the comments, the postings. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the kind words and thoughts. I send them right back at you. I wish you an upcoming year filled with abundance and many, many blessings. Keep coming back to the show. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do our goal setting so we can plan ahead what it is we want to do for 2015 as we continue on this journey. That's it for today. That's it for the year. Have an awesome day. I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace. I'm out of here.